Hi, I have some things to say about Marathon. Things that have been said already by many, and things that haven't. The discourse in general surrounding this game and its reveal have been rough, to say the least. But why should I care? Well, I would consider myself to be a fan of Bungie and their games. I've put a lot of time and money into not only Halo, but also Destiny as a franchise, and honestly, I hope to put more. Marathon is such a weird topic for us Destiny players because many feel abandoned and almost used by it, for the fact that more than likely, the majority of Marathon's budget came from the success of Destiny 2.
Also Sony money.
Well, I'm here to give everyone a massive reality check. Not just the Destiny community, but the gaming community at large. Okay, so Marathon. At the time of writing, it's been a few days since they revealed the game. Now, I wouldn't consider myself to be an expert on the game or anything, seeing as how I haven't even played it yet. Here's hoping I get into the alpha. But I strongly believe I have watched every single second of gameplay footage that has been publicly released of this game. I've also listened to every dev interview they have done so far, along with reading through many threads online discussing the game. So I'd call myself well enough informed. The state the game is in now is alpha or pre-alpha, and we are about 4 months out from the full release. Now, there are conflicting reports on how long it's been in development for, but we know it's at least been in incubation for the past 6 years. That might sound like a long time, but reality check, it's probably only been in active development for 3 to 4 years, in which halfway through, we know there was a major creative shift in direction due to the game director being fired and changed to who it is now, Joe Ziegler. Now, before anyone says it, I don't hate Joe. As a matter of fact, he seems on the surface to be a nice dude who is genuinely excited for this game. However, I can't help but feel he has brought some things to this game that I don't like. For instance, it was reported that part of the changes he brought to this game was the shift to having heroes instead of our own individual runners, and also the shift to the more cel-shaded look the game has now. This would line up with a lot of things we have now, like concept and character art, as well as some details on the original website for the game. For example, the original version of Marathon, the game's website, had this text describing the game. You are a runner, venturing into the unknown in a fight for fame and infamy. Who among you will write their names across the stars? Now, the updated version states, become a runner. Choose from a roster of cybernetic mercenaries with unique abilities. If that isn't telling, I don't know what is. So, this current direction of the game has left many, including myself, dissatisfied, to say the least. The main 2 points I want to harp on are the art direction and the heroes, because those were my 2 biggest pain points after watching the reveal. Now, it's been stated by the franchise art director for Marathon, Joseph Cross, amazing work by the way, that the version of the game we have seen does not contain the final art pass yet. However, I can't shake the feeling that the cel-shaded look is very much so intentional, based on what was said earlier about Joe's direction for the game. It seems like maybe he came into this project, saw the aesthetic and said, we need marketable characters for this franchise, which led to both heroes and this cel-shaded look. Honestly, I hate that. All the art for this game just looks so fucking gorgeous. I want to play in that universe, not the Valorant-coded quirky lives of these pre-made runners that they're giving us. The quote I said earlier about becoming a runner encompasses this fantasy so much better, and I imagine a world where this game had us customizing and creating our own runners. Similar to Destiny and Halo's customization, where we could make our own loadouts, choosing which abilities to bring in based on our individual playstyles, and having fully customizable armor pieces to make our own runner drip with. And they could use all this amazing concept art as a starting point for these armor pieces. I don't know if that was ever the original idea for this game or not, but God, I wish I lived in that timeline. So, what's the answer to all these concerns? I see many people online worried about the long-term legs of this game, as well as the gameplay, but me? No. The gameplay looks great for the most part, and I think they've landed on a decent loop with a lot of secret shit we have still yet to see, which will hopefully excite us and make the experience better. And I know that Bungie will support this game for the long term because they have done that for Destiny. Even when it was dead and in the dirt, they still supported it back to life. I know that they can make the changes they need to make this game better in the future. I just said the future, right? Why not now? Because unless this game gets delayed, I strongly believe this is going to be a rough launch. The problem with the delay is most likely Sony. They want this game out sooner rather than later to start recouping all this money that they've put into Bungie, and a delay would mean even more wait time for that. This is probably the exact pressure that Bungie is being put under right now. If they delay it, the delay would have to be significant enough to make real change while also not stepping anywhere near the splash out of GTA 6, which would probably mean at minimum a 6-month delay. I don't think they can afford that delay from a monetary or optic standpoint. So it's looking like another classic Bungie launch for those who are familiar. But I mean seriously, some of Bungie's best shit has been released after delays and under pressure, so maybe there's still a chance? You know, as the Twitter meme goes, this one's a make or break, you guys. And so all this brings me into my final point, the reality checks of the situation. I feel like it's my duty to fix people's expectations surrounding this game and its release. So, reality check. The game probably isn't going to be delayed. It can't. Reality check. The game is never going to be free to play. Reality check. We are probably never going to get full runner customization. Ever. We are going to be living in a world with pre-made heroes or runners who have many quirky skins for us. The best thing we can hope for on that front is a good monetization system and some free-to-earn skins. Reality check. The game's current art style probably isn't going to change much, although if anything, this is the one that's most likely to change. Reality check. This game is never going to get a PvE mode or a dedicated story campaign. The amount of resources they would need to make these are insane, and PvE would ruin the pace of this game. But also, reality check. Bungie is great at building compelling narratives without the need for direct story missions and dialogue. Look no further than Halo and Destiny's lore. And wait, also, fucking Marathon's lore. They already have me hooked personally with what they've shown so far for the story, and I can't wait for more. And finally, reality check. This game isn't fucking Concord. What happened with that game was straight apathy and unappeal for the masses. Marathon already has a lot more supporters than that game ever had. Every person saying this is Concord 2.0 is just regurgitating a false narrative to make this game look bad because it's funny to them. The general public already hates Bungie and Destiny, so this game is an easy punching bag. Regardless of how it comes out, I'm sure this game will be great one day. Let's just hope that one day is sooner rather than later. Thank you so much to anybody who listened to me ramble this long and waited to the end. I've never really made a video like this before, but I felt super compelled by this whole situation and I wanted to really speak my piece on it. I hope my passion for this game is clear enough, and I hope to play it soon and make more videos on it, but we'll see about that. Anyways, have a wonderful day and I'll see you next time. Peace.